Hey everyone, and welcome to the first mini info session of the Empowered Birth podcast. In these short episodes, I'll be sharing some coping strategies and techniques that can be useful during labor. Through my own birth experiences, I learned so much, and I want to share those lessons with as many people as possible so that you can feel informed, empowered, and more prepared for labor. Before we jump into coping strategies, I think it's important to understand what your body is actually doing during labor and what all of these techniques are helping you work through. It's no use me telling you what to do or how to do something and you're not quite understanding, well, what's the point or why are we even doing this? What's the aim? So let's start by talking about contractions and the incredible job they're doing during birth. So, what exactly is a contraction? A contraction is when the muscles of your uterus tighten and then relax. This is a completely natural process that plays several important roles during labor. When your uterus contracts, which means it tightens, it helps your cervix gradually soften, thin out, and open, which you might hear referred to as effacement and dilation. At the same time, contractions help move your baby lower into the pelvis and eventually through the birth canal. Interestingly, your body may start practicing this tightening motion well before labor begins. From around the second trimester, you may experience what are known as Braxton Hicks contractions. You might not notice them at all. In my first birth or pregnancy, I didn't notice them. I was in all belief that I actually didn't have them. It's especially common in your first pregnancy because you're not quite sure what to keep an eye out for or what's actually happening. And that's completely normal. Sometimes they can, like I said, they can be hard to recognize. They may feel like your belly is tightening, your abdomen coming hard, firm, or a brief period of discomfort. They can happen occasionally or several times throughout the day, and they often become more noticeable as you get closer to your due date. For me, when I noticed them in my second pregnancy, I felt a sudden tightness around my uterus, and then I would actually feel a little bit hard to breathe in terms of I couldn't completely expand my lungs. And this feeling would last maybe 5 to 10 seconds before it releases. So it's very different for everyone. Unlike true labor contractions, though, they usually stay irregular. They don't continue to get stronger, longer, or closer together over time. The big difference between Braxton Hicks and a real proper contraction is whether or not you can continue doing something that you're already in the middle of doing. So with a Braxton Hicks, you can still talk. You don't need to concentrate on anything. Like I said, you will barely notice it. With a real contraction, you're going to stop. You might not be able to continue your conversation. You will find it difficult to continue doing what you're doing. If you're unsure about what you're feeling, always contact your healthcare provider. When labor contractions begin, they're doing more than just helping your baby move down. Each contraction is also helping your cervix open little by little. As your baby moves lower and puts pressure on your cervix, this can encourage your body to release more hormones that support labor, helping the process to continue. Labor contractions often follow a pattern. Each contraction typically starts mildly, builds in intensity, and as the uterus tightens, reaches a peak, and then it gradually eases away. Once it passes, the discomfort settles, and you usually get a short break before the next one begins. This is something that's really important to remember if you're going to go into an unmedicated birth. The best advice I can give you to prepare mentally is that just remind yourself when you're in the peak of your contraction, you are about to get a break. Regardless of how short or quick your contractions are coming, you're still going to feel that discomfort ease away and get a quick rest. In these rests, it's important to regather your strength. So drink some water, take lots of deep breaths in and out through your nose and mouth, and just recalibrate, ready for the next one to come. As labor continues, contractions will generally become stronger, longer, and closer together. This helps your cervix continue to open until it reaches around 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters is the golden number in this case. That's when healthcare professionals will deem this as fully dilated, and it's about this time that you're going to get ready to push. It's important to remember that every labor is different, and not everyone's contractions will feel or look the same. If anything feels unusual or concerning, especially vaginal bleeding, severe pain, reduced baby movements, or any regular contractions before 37 weeks, you should definitely, like I said, contact your healthcare provider, whoever's looking after your pregnancy. So that's a general idea on what a contraction is and the small roles it's doing as your labor progresses. When I was going through my first birth, I participated in a free birthing class at my local hospital. And one of the greatest visualizations that they gave me on what a contraction looks like and what it's doing is the ping pong and the balloon. I don't have a balloon with me here, so I'm going to drop a cool little video down below in the links that you can look at later. But the idea of it is you pop a ping pong ball into a balloon, you'll inflate it just till it's like maybe midway, and then you wait for the ping pong ball to settle at the bottom of the balloon where the air comes in and out. The idea of it is you will squeeze on the balloon gently, which slowly pushes out the ping pong ball. The ping pong ball is your baby's head or your baby. It could be butt first, not head first. But it's a really good visualization of what the contractions are doing. So you're tightening and squeezing the top of the muscles on the uterus, and it slowly will push that ping pong ball out. Like I said, have a look at the video. It's just a really cool way to see it physically happening in front of you, and it helps you better understand what is going on. In our next couple of mini episodes, that's what we're going to be branching on more. So we'll be learning a few different breathing techniques. I want to show you guys a few different visualizations that help prepare you mentally for riding out those contractions, as well as lots of different physical positions as you move through those stages of labor. So that's the end of our quick little info session. If you have any comments or questions, just drop them in below this episode, or check us out on Instagram and make sure you follow us along. There will be lots of different coping strategies coming up in other mini episodes, as well as other birth stories coming from real women that have experienced firsthand what that labor feels like. And hopefully you can pick up a few skills from them as well. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening. It's just a really quick touch on what is happening inside our body. I'm going to drop a few little resources down below of where I learnt some. Thank you guys so much for listening. It was just